Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar. This is Black Ops USAGI number 2. You can tell it's number 2 because look at how crazy the cover is. Clearly, this has to be the second installment of the story. No other way would you get like this cool, crazy. Like, look at her. Look at her, man. She means business. Look at this dude in the back. He's so cool. And then, of course, you got the crew down here. So, we start off, we get like the background here and a little island where they're doing research. See, it's a little island where they're doing research. Who could have guessed? Has been taken over by mercenaries. Uh, let me flip to that page that has the little the art of them. Like it's some straight up Metal Gear Solid kind of stuff. You got like the big boss over here. You got the mercenary over here. She's totally like Revolver Ocelot, just named Hair Trigger. Because why not? Why not? Uh, In fact, if you make that connection, something that happens to her makes perfect sense later. You get lots of background, lots of great looking Tim Lim art here. And then the mission starts. I mean, we do get to meet like the little characters, and we learn all about them. We learn, about Patriotter. We learn about, oh my gosh, I just forgot the turtle's name. What's the turtle's name? It's like Rigger Tortoise or something. It's great. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even showing that. Get those books out of my way. Get out of my way, books. It's very punny. It's absolutely very punny, and that makes it fun. But there's lots of cool stuff in here. It's ridiculous, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at the action. Now, you wouldn't think, like, that the very concept, oh, a book about, like, a bunny special ops guy, like, you don't think that would be, like, particularly interesting. How could you make the fights interesting? Well, they are. They're very dynamically done. Everything about them is exciting. From the little action lines here to indicate the motion, to the way the panels are laid out, to the stuff in the panels. Let me just look here at the stuff up here. So he takes out a whole bunch of dudes. Like, it looks awesome. Now, of course, the bunny doesn't speak English. None of the animals do. They actually speak in little emoticon bubbles. You know? Hey, don't be making copies of me. Look at that little angry bunny face. Now, what you see here is problem number one. And it's probably the big problem. It's square bound. The book is square bound, yo. Can't really open it up to really experience what this should look like because there's always going to be a bow, a curve in the page. You can't lay it flat. Square bound is cool. Here's problem number two because it's square bound. There's what it looks like when the cover's closed. I've only read it once and showed it to you on stream. So that's kind of rough. Now, one side of the book is Tim Lim art. The other side is not Tim Lim art. Yeah, Matt Weldon art. Now, apparently my book had a problem here. I got like a grease streak or something from the printing facility, but it won't come off. So whatever it is like just completely stained the pages. It looks like grease from a roller or something like that. Like it's kind of grungy. Kind of grungy. After Tim Lim had to fix my Walmart, I didn't expect I'd have another like bum book, but I'll send him a message or something later. It's not a big deal. I'm not letting that interfere with this, but yeah. So you get this story here. The bad guys like had these chupacabras that they were going to launch onto the city, and she has to stop them, and she does, and it's a great little short mini comic. It's I don't know what 10 pages or something. It's not particularly long. It's gory. It looks good. I love the way Matt Weldon does hair. And then we get a little story about Patriotter, and it's his side of the mission because there's three. There's the three different animals. There's Patriotter, there's the USAGI, and then there's the turtle. Well, the turtle one doesn't really. His story is just told in the main story, and there's just a lot of him like getting stuck on a rock or falling over and stuff like that. And it's actually kind of funny. All the action that's going on when our little bunny friend is busy murdering stuff, and then down at the bottom of the page will just be like the turtle is eating grass. It's a great contrast. Let me see if I can find one of those pages for you real quick. Here we go. We got like some really desperate stuff going on here. The bad guy even speaks his language, which is kind of funny. And then there's the turtle, diffusing the tension, providing an immediate little bit of like comedic timing. Just a little, not a lot, not a lot to distract you, but it provides that little bit of relief in the story that any good dramatic story has to have. Anyway, Patrioter's side of the story is just full of absolute like barbaric combat. He is a bad dude. Like even compared to the bunny, he's got an attitude, man, which they explain. He's like feral and stuff, and it's pretty good. All in all, I liked the book. Uh, Never in my life would I have expected that I'd be reading a comic book about this. You know, it's one thing if it's like anthropomorphic animals or something. It's like, oh, that's a Saturday morning cartoon from when I'm a kid, you know, like Bucky O'Hare or something. But here, no, they're not anthropomorphic animals. They're just straight up mutated animals. And this whole book is about this guy. Apparently, like what he does is he creates these things. He's been working for the government to make them, and he wants to go rogue. Apparently, he had gone rogue, got captured, and pressed back into government service. Now he wants to go rogue again. Patrioter has to fight something that you might remember from the first Black Ops series. You might remember it. You know, the chairman had a particular feline friend. He shows up in this book. Oh, those the wolf things. They're the chupacabras. He makes them. It's pretty cool. It's weirdly self-consistent for a book with as ridiculous a premise, a ridiculous a premise as this has. I like the art. I like the writing. It's fun. It's well paced. That looks kind of familiar. Hmm. I'm not implying anything there. Well, maybe I am, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not. You could go a lot worse than buying Black Ops number 2 or Volume 2 or whatever we're calling this. Is there something on the spine? Black Ops Volume 2 Hair Trigger. There we go. You can do a lot worse than buying Black Ops Volume 2 Hair Trigger. It's fun. It's darn fun. It's pretty clean. There's nothing in here that you can't show like a 12-year-old or something. I mean, maybe it's a little gory in places, and the part with Penelope, the redhead handler, is maybe a little more serious in tone than the rest of the book. But at no point is there anything like really objectionably bad. Like there's nothing that really should be all that offensive. So if you got like a adolescent relative and you're looking for a Christmas present, well, I guess you missed the campaign. But if you message Tim Lim on Twitter or something, he might still have a couple copies. I think it'd be worth it to check it out. And I think that's it. I kind of rambled there. I feel like this just turned into me rambling about the book as opposed to me trying to review it. But it's really hard to review things that you like because if you like them enough, that like becomes innate. It like just becomes part of you. And that's how I feel about this book. Like I just like it so much. I want you to read it and please, whatever you do, don't make me explain why it's so good because it really is just so good. I'll see y'all next time. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And bye.